Watts, amp hours, and watt hours. In this video, we'll be looking at advanced electrical units of measurement, how it applies to e-bike systems, and how to calculate watts, amp hours, and watt hours. Why it matters? Because it's fundamental to understanding e-bike capabilities, allows you to answer more customer FAQs, and also key concepts that are used a lot in later videos. Prerequisite VODs, you just need to watch the one on voltage, current, and resistance. Let's begin with amp hours. Measurements of electric charge, like the total car count passing on a point of highway over a span of 1 hour. In e-bikes, on two identical systems, a higher amp hour battery means more capacity, which means more range. However, amp hours ignores voltage. More on what that means soon. Amp hours, AH, is a function of amps, A, times hours, H, described as capacity, and think of it like a traffic counter. So this traffic counter is measuring all of the cars that are passing over the span of 1 hour. That's how we get the 4 amp hours. In another example, we have 4 amps over 6 hours, which is 24 amp hours. So what we mean here, like clockwork, 4 cars are passing this traffic counter every hour for a total of 6 hours. Therefore, 4 times 6 is 24. Or 9.6 cars every hour over the span of 22 minutes. So that's why this number is smaller at 3.52 amp hours, because we weren't measuring the full hour. If you need to convert minutes into hours, by the way, just take the minutes and divide it by 60. Watts, the measurement of power, like the total kinetic energy, work, or force of all cars on the highway. Think cars times speed. In e-bikes, on two identical systems, more watts means more speed, acceleration, but less range from the battery. Watts in W is a function of volts, V, times amps, A. In our example here, we have 50 volts, think of that as like the speed, by 4 cars, or 4 amps. 50 times 4 is 200. Now, low example, we have more traffic that's moving faster. So 65 volts times 7.5 cars, or 7.5 amps, that's 487.5 watts. Watt hours is the measurement of consumed energy, like the total distance traveled by all cars in 1 hour. In e-bikes, watt hours, WH, is the best way to measure or calculate the battery's capacity, especially when comparing batteries of different voltages. We'll get into specific examples of that when we cover the video on batteries. Watt hours, WH, is a function of watts, W, times time, H. Also described as capacity, just like amp hours. And this example here, we've got 50 volts times 4 amps, 200 watts. Cool. But now we introduce time. And so 200 watts times 1.5 hours is 300 watt hours, because we're measuring the total work done every hour. And if that's 200 times 1.5, that means it's 300 watt hours. Just like the example we had before, sometimes you measure things in minutes. Simply take 90 minutes, divide that by 60, that'll give you 1.5. So it's the same as 1.5 hours, and we'll end up with the same result here. Amp hours versus watt hours. You might be wondering, what's the difference? Amp hours tells you how long a battery can sustain a certain current flow, whereas watt hours tells you the total amount of energy a battery holds. Watt hours is a more complete picture, especially when comparing batteries. So what you need to remember there is use watt hours instead of amp hours when comparing battery capacity, especially of different e-bike systems. Click here to watch the next video. It is the best free thing you can do to tell YouTube to support the channel. Otherwise, if you want to do more, check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching.